Once upon a time, in a sun-drenched meadow bursting with life, lived a grasshopper named Skip. Now, Skip wasn't just any grasshopper. He had the loudest chirp, the highest jump, and, in his own mind, the biggest brain of all the creatures in the field. He'd spend his days leaping from one tall blade of grass to another, shouting for all to hear, "I am the strongest. I am the smartest. No one can match my might." The ants, a colony of diligent workers, would often hear his boasts as they marched in their neat lines, carrying seeds and leaves. Most of them simply ignored him, too focused on their important tasks. But one day, a little blue ant named Azure paused, placing his heavy crumb of bread on the ground. He looked up at the preening grasshopper and said, in a voice as calm as a gentle breeze, "Boasting is easy, Skip. Proving it is another matter." Skip leaped down, landing right in front of Azure with a dramatic thud. A challenge. From a tiny ant. This will be amusing. "What's your challenge, little blue speck?" he sneered, puffing out his chest. Azure wasn't intimidated. He pointed a tiny antenna towards a large oak tree at the far end of the meadow. "Let's have a food collecting contest," he proposed. "The first one to bring back 10 ripe berries from the bush beneath that oak tree wins. The winner will be declared the true champion of the meadow." Skip roared with laughter. 10 berries. I could do that in my sleep. You, with your tiny legs, will take all day. You're on, little ant. Prepare to be humbled. And so, the contest began. With a mighty spring, Skip launched himself into the air, covering half the distance to the oak tree in a single bound. "See you at the finish line, slowpoke," he chirped back over his shoulder. He reached the berry bush in a flash, his heart pounding with excitement and arrogance. He quickly grabbed the first berry he saw, a big, juicy one, and started his journey back. But the berry was heavier than he expected. Hopping with a full mouth was awkward. He tried to take another giant leap, but stumbled, dropping the berry, which rolled into a patch of mud. Grumbling, he picked it up, wiped it off, and tried again. This time, he took smaller, more frantic hops. He was fast, but he was also clumsy and wasting a lot of energy. Meanwhile, Azure the ant was moving with a completely different strategy. He didn't rush. He marched steadily, his path deliberate and planned. He knew a shortcut through the roots of a dandelion that the bigger grasshopper couldn't use. When he reached the berry bush, he didn't just grab the first berry he saw. He carefully inspected them, choosing one that was perfectly ripe, but also a manageable size. He then began his journey back, not by trying to carry it in his mouth, but by expertly rolling it along the smooth, hard-packed earth of the ant trail. It was slower, yes, but it was steady. There was no fumbling, no dropping, no wasted energy. Just calm, consistent progress. By the time Skip had clumsily delivered his second berry, panting and already feeling tired, Azure was calmly rolling his third berry back to the starting line. Skip saw this and panicked. "How is he doing that?" he muttered, wiping sweat from his brow. He tried to go even faster, but his haste only made him more careless. He dropped another berry, tripped over a twig, and had to spend precious time searching for his lost prize. His confident chirps had turned into frustrated grunts. The other creatures of the meadow gathered to watch. They saw the grasshopper, a whirlwind of frantic, inefficient motion, and the little blue ant, a picture of calm, intelligent focus. Slowly but surely, Azure delivered his 4th, 5th, and 6th berries. Each trip was a perfect copy of the last, steady, smart, and successful. Finally, as the sun began to dip towards the horizon, Azure rolled his 10th and final berry across the finish line. A quiet cheer went up from the watching insects. A few moments later, a completely exhausted and disheveled Skip stumbled across the line with only his 7th berry, which he immediately dropped from his tired jaw. He looked at the neat pile of 10 berries by Azure's side and then at his own messy, incomplete collection. He was too tired to even boast. Azure walked over to the defeated grasshopper. "You are strong and fast, Skip," the little blue ant said kindly, "but strength and speed are nothing without patience and a clever plan. It's not always the fastest leap that wins the race. Sometimes it's the steadiest walk." From that day on, Skip the grasshopper boasted a lot less and observed a lot more. He learned that true strength isn't just about being the loudest or the fastest, but about being smart, patient, and consistent. And he realized that even the smallest creature can achieve the greatest things with a little bit of wisdom. The meadow was a much quieter and wiser place for it. Thanks so much for watching this story with us. If you enjoyed it, please give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more tales and fables. See you next time.